So today is the last session for your internal training on mechanics of automotive components, and also on the last session for the particular topic named as vibrations in an automotive component. Now, so at the very end, we should learn the causes of vibrations, its harmful effects, and its remedies. So, what are the different causes of vibration in any machine? So, just go through those points. First one is that unbalancing of rotating machine components. Okay. Now I am reading all those points one by one. If you have any doubt, stop me then and ask me. Okay. So first one is the unbalancing of rotating machine components. Okay. So in any rotating machine, like any turbine wheel, okay, in any pump impeller, so any kind of rotating machine which is now in unbalanced situation, so that may be subjected to a harmful vibration. Now, point number two, unbalancing if any reciprocating machine component. That means in any reciprocating machine, like here you see, in reciprocating action is also available in your automobile cylinder. Okay, so the reciprocation of piston, so there must be a vibration phenomena. Obviously, in reciprocating pump, reciprocating compressions, so everywhere the reciprocating phenomena is going on. So if that system is absolutely unbalanced, so obviously there is a chance of creation of vibration. Now, point number three, misalignment of the rotating components such as coupling. So coupling, if coupling is misaligned and it is not placed well, so obviously it will subject to some vibration. Next, using bent shaft. So you are always advised to use the straight shaft unless if the shaft is bent at some portion, so that portion will face some stress concentration, and due to of which the portion will be subjected to some vibration. Next, worn out of the moving components such as teeth of the gears, ball or rolling gear slides, drive belts, etc. for power transmission. That means any power transmission component, that component which transmits the power from one drive to another drive. Like here also you see the gear. If any gear in any bearing part, any drive belt, okay, in any rope belt, anywhere which part is transmitting the power from one part to one another part. So if that part is having the worn out component, that means a very old age component, okay, and it needs to be replaced, but you are not replacing it. So what will happen? So from those worn out components, the vibration will create. Next, looseness in transmission components such as belt or chains. So you can understand, so you must have to tighten those particular transmission components, unless what happen, if they are loose at some point, so this point will be subjected to vibration. Next, looseness of the fastenings of the moving components. This part basically happens in the temporary joints. Fastening
Sorry
means,
for interruption.
yes, tell me.
স্যার বলছি সৌম্যকে একটু অ্যাড করে নিন স্যার।
Okay, now here we see that if any fastening part, that means any joint, if joint is loose, so obviously there must be some chance of creation of vibration. Like this thing happens in the temporary joints, any bolt system, okay, in any power screw, in any rivet joint. So these joints may face the cause of the vibration if they are placed at a loose condition. Next, loose or the non-rigid machine foundation, which may cause the misalignment of machine components. So obviously, like any superstructure or any giant machine which is placed on a foundation. Now, if the foundation is not rigid enough, so it may face some vibration. Next, improper isolation of vibration from other vibrating sources and machines installed nearby. That point is very important. Like if you have a factory, like you are just think about a factory. Okay, now the factory is on a very less ground, okay, less amount of ground, or the space available is very less on the factory floor, but the number of machines are very much high enough. Okay, like in any 10 or 15 machines are placed in a very short space. So what will happen, the the machines are placed very nearby position, that means the gap between two machines are very less. So what will happen, any vibration that is created from one machine, it requires some place to get what we say that transmitted within the ground. But if you are not allowing it to get that sufficient space, so obviously what will happen, from one, the vibration generated from one machine will be transmitted to the surrounding machine, or the any you can say any consecutive machine, okay, or any successive machine. So what will happen, so machine number one is generating one vibration, and the machine two is placed very nearby. So what will happen, the vibration generated in machine one will be transmitted to machine two, and of course machine two itself has some vibration. So both these two vibration additionally create a super vibration on the machine two. That is why what happened, if anyone is involved in any business that is related to basically placing of the machines, so obviously that designer or that man has to think about that he or she must provide some amount of space between two machines, so that the vibration generated in one machine can get easily transmitted through the ground. Okay, so it is always advised that machines shall not be installed very nearby. There must be some amount of gap between two consecutive machines. Okay. Next, last point, impact of the working fluids in prime mover. So what will happen? Any prime mover like turbine. So turbine is rotating at a high speed for a longer period of time. So it requires some kind of working fluid in terms of any lubrication, okay, or in terms of any other fluid which basically gives it the power. But what happened, the if the working fluid, if it is not capable enough, or it is not having the such property to cater all those importance, so what will happen, from the disadvantage of using those working fluids, so it will create some kind of impact on the prime mover functions or prime mover performance, and as a result of which the vibration will start operational. Okay, so here you see these are the main causes of vibrations in machines. So ultimately a person who is working in a factory, he knows much better than better than me also, that what are the different causes, because he is relatively what happened witnessing all those vibrations in terms of a machine. Okay, so he is daily witnessing all those vibration problems in a machine. So any person who is now involved any maintenance activities or any factory operator, so he is quite aware all those causes. Okay, now he is also aware those or harmful effects of those vibrations. So these are all about the vibration effects. These are all about the vibration harmful effects. So vibration does not create any good effect, it always creates a harmful effect. So what are those effects? Now, reduction in functional life of machine component due to excessive wear. So what will happen from the vibration? So machine will be supposed to having the excessive amount of wear. So obviously when wear is high, so machine performance, machine functional life, okay, machine service life will be reduced. Next, excessive stress and strain are induced in machine components. Obviously, when a machine is subjected to vibration, so from that vibration, what will happen? So machine will additionally subjected to some additional amount of load, additional amount of strain and deflection also, which are not at all expected from a machine performance. But these are the unreliable components that is absolutely generated in machines. What happened, these are generated from the creation of the vibration. Okay, these excessive stress and strains also create the machine that also create a very bad impact on the machine's performance. Next, failure of machine components due to fatigue. Now everyone absolutely everyone, those who are in third year, you know the better the term fatigue. Now, fatigue, what happened? Fatigue means if a machine is subjected to repeated load, okay, repeated load, not a constant load, but a repeated load. So what will happen? The machine will fail or the material will fail before the yield point. Okay. Now you know what is yield point. So yield point means in the stress strain diagram, if you see, so yield point means a point where the material reaches its plastic deformation zone. So it is the permanent deformation zone and the material will never come back to its original shape. That means at that point the material loses its elasticity property. Okay. So what happened? Due to fatigue, the material even fails. The material even fails before the yield point. So here created due to the impact of the fatigue. Okay. Now what will happen? Due to vibration, the fatigue stress generated will be more, and due to this fatigue, the machine components will subject to failure mode. Okay. Next, come to the point, that is reduction in useful life of buildings and structures around the machines. Okay, so quite obviously, those who absolutely for the civil engineers, okay, those who are designing the buildings and structures, so they must have to consider the impact of vibration in their design. Okay, so if they have not considered the impact of vibration in their design, so ultimately what will happen after construction of the buildings or any bridges, okay, any structure, due to vibration, after certain period of time the property of the superstructures will be deteriorating. Okay, and the useful life will be gradually reducing. Next, human beings around the machine are subject to discomfort. Why discomfort? Because from the vibration, what happened, a great amount of noise is generated. So obviously those who are residing or those who are just standing in front of the machine or very nearby to the machine, so he feel discomfort because of the very high noise. Now, so what kind of discomfort? So what is the impact of those noise? So he will feel the physical and mental strain when the machines produce the heavy noise due to vibration. Okay, so that creates a physical impact and also a mental impact on those persons who is residing or who is standing nearby the machines. Next, come to the remedies. So these are all about the remedies, how we can take, we should take those steps so that the effect of vibration can be reduced at a certain level. Okay, so here you see these are the following steps that we can take as a remedy. First one is the balancing. So what are the causes of vibration? So we need to first find out the cause, then we need to then solve the uh, bad effects, solve the causes of those vibration, and will ultimately get the result of the reduced vibration. Okay, so first one is to find out the cause, then we'll have to go through that root of the cause, then we'll remove that cause. Okay, only then the vibration problem will be absolutely diminished. So first remedy is the balancing of unbalanced rotating component. So here you see in the first point of the cause, we have seen that is the unbalanced rotating component. So that is responsible for the vibration. So obviously those the parts which are unbalanced, reciprocating part or rotating part. So we need to first balance those parts. Only then the vibration problem can be absolutely eliminated. So first one is the balancing of those unbalanced rotating parts. Okay. Now, second part is the partial balancing of the reciprocating components. Third one is the correcting the misalignment of the rotating components and checking it periodically. Okay. So here also you think that the periodic maintenance part is coming. Okay. So a maintenance team has to observe that the whether all the parts are quite at its place, or whether any part is absolutely misaligned or any part is aligned, whether any part is absolutely come down to its original position or come shifted above from this original position. So alignment, misalignment, all those points, worn out components, whether there is any worn out components. So all those things are very much understandable to any maintenance person. Only then he can identify the problem. Okay. Next one is the using the helical gears instead of spark gears for power transmission. Now, if you look at the very basic geometry of the spark gear, So you can see that spark gears are subjected to very much vibration in during the power transmission. Whereas if you see the helical gears, so helical gears are having the helixes. Now due to the having the helix angle, so what happened? So vibration problems in the helical gear due to having the helix angle, what happened? The vibration problems quite eliminated in the helical gears. But in case of the spark gear does not have any helical helix angle. So these gears are very straight gear, and their shafts are the shafts connected in the spark gear is are parallel. Okay, so what happened? The power during the power transmission, the from the parallel shafts, the connection of the starting of the vibration is quite higher compared to the helical gears. So it is always recommended to use the helical gears instead instead of the spark gears during the power transmission, unless and until you are supposed to use, you are compelled to use the spark gear. But if you are any much force that you are not supposed to use the spark gear, if you had been if you have any other factor that you are you only have to use the spark gear. So ultimately you don't have, if you don't have any choice, then you must have to go for the helical gear, that the vibration problem in helical gear is quite less compared to those spark gears. Okay, next, as I have told you earlier, that from the bent shaft the vibration will generate. So obviously as a remedy we should use the straight shaft. Next, timely replacement of the worn out moving parts with excessive clearance. Okay, so those parts which are worn out and which are responsible for the vibration, so that parts have to be replaced periodically. Okay, so the periodic maintenance team will take care of those things. Next is the proper tightening and locking of the fastening components and checking it periodically. Okay, so as I have told, any fastening component like any rivet, if it is loose at any point, so obviously there will be a generation of vibration. So you are always advised to tight and lock those fastening components properly so that the generation of vibration can be eliminated. Next, isolating the vibrations from other sources. That means, as I have told, that every between two consecutive machines you have to provide some amount of space so that the vibration generated in one machine can be can should not transmit to the second machine. Okay, so that is why the isolating vibrations from other sources and machine by installing the vibration isolation pad. So within two consecutive machines you have to install the vibration isolation pad. So what will happen? There is a term called vibration damper or vibration isolator. Its main function is to isolate the vibratory wave from the originator and from the sink one. Okay, from the source and from the and towards the sink. So it creates a barrier between the source machine and the sink machine. Okay, so the vibration wave is absolutely isolated from one machine to another machine by creating a barrier of the vibration isolation pad. So you are advised to install a vibration isolation pad between two consecutive machines or two consecutive structures. Now, making sufficiently strong machine foundation. Okay, so machine foundation must be rigid enough so that the it rigid enough on the compact ground so that they do not yield or settle under the load of the vibration. এরকম কি হয় যে মেশিনের লোডের ফলে মেশিন যখন রানিং অবস্থায় রয়েছে অনেক সময় যদি ফাউন্ডেশনটা উইক থাকে বা ফাউন্ডেশন যদি রিজিড না থাকে, মেশিন কি হয় মাটির নিচে অনেক সময় বসে যায়। ওকে, so what happen, you have to ensure that the machine foundation is very much strong and rigid. So what will happen, it must be very much well placed with the compact ground. Okay, so its yield or settle down on the due to load of the machine can be eliminated. So these are all about the remedies. Now come to the important part, that is the popular causes of car engine vibration. Okay, so as I have already discussed earlier, these are the key points on those the machines, any mechanical machine, any electrical machine, or any superstructure. Okay, but as an automobile engineer, you must have to know the popular causes that are responsible for the car engine vibration. Mainly 8 points are there. There are mainly 8 causes. Okay, first one is that the crankshaft damper. Now, damper is the term that is often occasionally used in the vibration problem. So, damper means it is the vibration isolator. It's the component that reduces the effect of vibration. Okay, damping. Now, damping is the effect that I have told you in the previous sessions, that damping means it is the resistance. Okay, so its function is to reduce the vibration. Damping means every cycle, if the amplitude is gradually reducing, so that is called a damped vibration. So similar to that, any damper, its main function is to just reduce the amplitude of the vibration in every consecutive cycle of motion. So what will happen? The effect of the vibration will be gradually diminished. So in the crankshaft, this damper is provided to eliminate the so if what happened for a after using the damper, now every particle has certain service life. So if the damper after crossing the service life, it becomes worn out, okay, or it becomes non-functional. So what will happen? So the damper will not work. Obviously, the vibration problem will stay on the engine. Okay, so occasionally you'll have to check whether the crankshaft damper is all right or it has been worn out. Okay, so this is the point number one. Okay, so damper, if the damper is you can say non-functional or it is worn out, so the problem of vibration may stay in the engine, car engine. Okay, next, second part is the faulty engine mount. So if you see that this is the main cause of the engine vibration, this component keeps the engine attached to the chassis. Besides, it also reduces the vibration of a running engine. This part does not just get damaged, reckless driving can be responsible behind it. Okay, so if the mounting is not in the good position, so what will happen? The vibration will obviously stay in the engine part. Okay, so the second important part is the engine mounting. Third, spark plug issue. Okay, if there is a problem with your vehicle spark plug, so obviously the engine will vibrate more than the usual. Okay, so due to the spark plug, faulty spark plug, the vibration problem may generate. Next is the extreme weather. In a frosty weather, the engine vibrates more than what is normal. In a cold weather, the engine cannot run on its optimal level, so vibration will increase. So this is the case for the extreme weather condition. Next, car axle. So it is the axle that need to be taken care of. When your car is in a collision, the axle can be damaged even when there is no apparent sign of damage. অ্যাক্সেল এমন একটা পার্ট যে পার্টটা যদি ড্যামেজ হয় এবং তুমি যদি ভালো করে ওয়াচ না করো, মনিটর না করো, সো অ্যাক্সেল যেটা ড্যামেজ সেটা ড্যামেজ থেকেই যাবে। ঠিক আছে, সো you need to take care of the axle, car axle part also. So this part may get damaged many a time. This part may get damaged due to the collision. Second, number six is the wheel problem. So one of the most severe engine vibration causes it is related to the wheel. A misaligned wheel or worn out wheel bearing might be the problem. The vibration is coming directly through the steering wheel. তার মানে যে কোনো গাড়ি হুইলে যদি প্রবলেম হয়, সেই হুইলটা কি হয়, সেই প্রবলেমটা তোর হচ্ছে ভাইব্রেশনের ডিউ টু ক্রিয়েশন অফ ভাইব্রেশন, সেই প্রবলেমটা স্টিয়ারিং হুইলেও চলে আসে। নেক্সট হচ্ছে টায়ার প্রবলেম। The most common of all the reasons as almost 80% of the car vibrations are related to tire. টায়ারের জন্য 80% কারে হচ্ছে ভাইব্রেশন প্রবলেমটা হয়ে থাকে। Such vibration can be fixed through the tire balance, tire rotation and the tire replacement. Okay, here the tire spelling is wrong, tyre. Okay, just remember the so vibration problem can be eliminated by the proper balancing of the tire, proper tire rotation and the tire replacement. If the tire is having some kind of problem, you'll have to replace. Okay, next is the brake problem. Heavy wear and tear can cause the brake rotors to get wrapped, making it impossible for brake pad and calipers to grip them during the time of applying the brake. So this is one of the primary cause to create the vibration problem. So here we see we have total 8 different causes to create the vibration problem in the car engine. Now you must have to take care all those causes and you must have to maintain your car properly so that the vibration problem due to generation of these eight causes can be eliminated. Okay.
Sir, please repeat that engine mountain.
Okay, now if you engine mounting, so how it will happen? There must be a proper configuration. Like, you know, in the car engine, okay, so there are lots of components are there in your car engine. Okay, so one part is there after another part, so there is a particular configuration. Like, if due to any reason, if one part is not at a particular place with the second part, like any joint, okay, if any joint has been loosened or if any part has been misaligned from the next consecutive part, so what will happen? The mounting of the engine will be absolutely disbalanced. So this is the main purpose of the mounting. So with the help of this mounting, so what will happen? The engine is attached with the chassis. Now there is a connection between chassis and the engine. So this thing happens with the mounting. If your mounting has some kind of problem, so obviously the bridge will be totally a unbalanced situation, and obviously from that thing the creation of vibration will occur. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Mounting. হ্যাঁ, আচ্ছা, any other thing? Do you have any other question? This is all about my lecture for today, and of course my last this is my last lecture for the internal training session on this particular subject. Okay. Next, you'll face one assessment test. Okay, so it will be for 30 minutes and 10 questions will be there. So prepare for that. From the 4:30, it will commence. Okay. Now it's been already 4:34. So from the 4:40, your assessment will be starting, and it will be longer up to 5:10. Okay, for 30 minutes. Then from 5:10 to 5:20, you have to put your assignment. So assignment link will be open at the 5:10. Okay. Now
Sir,
tell me if you have any other question.
sir, one query I have.
Yes.
So assignment means that assignment where we have to calculate the value of H.
No. This was assignment. Okay, this is assessment. Assessment means it is just a simple test.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, sorry.
Okay, but this is MCQ based test. This is called assessment.
No, sir, you told something about assignment.
Assignment. Have you kept it ready?
Sir, no, sir, it's not. No, sir, you
Oh,
said that from 540, from 440, there will be that
yes.
assessment.
Assessment.
Okay, sir, and then what will be
Assessment
there?
is a MCQ based test.
Okay.
Okay. And what about the assignment that I have given you to calculate the H? That means the height of the center of gravity. Have you done it?
No, sir, I haven't done it yet.
Okay. Then complete it and email me. Okay.
And sir,
স্যার টেস্টটা কটা থেকে কটা অবধি থাকবে একটু বলবেন আরেকবার?
টেস্টটা হচ্ছে 4:40 থেকে 5:10 অবধি।
আচ্ছা তাহলে স্যার তারপরে কি
ঠিক
বললেন
আছে
একটা
স্যার।
5:10 থেকে কি হবে?
হ্যাঁ, 5:10 থেকে আমি অ্যাটেন্ডেন্সের লিঙ্কটা ওপেন করে দিচ্ছি। দেন
ও
ইউ ক্যান
আচ্ছা,
গিভ ইউর অ্যাটেন্ডেন্স ফর এন্ড দ্য লিঙ্ক উইল বি ওপেন ফর 10 মিনিটস অনলি।
ঠিক আছে স্যার, আমি অ্যাটেন্ডেন্সটাকেই অ্যাসাইনমেন্ট শুনলাম, তাই ভাবলাম
স্যার
যে
অ্যাটেন্ডেন্সের লিঙ্কটা একটু আগে ওপেন করে দিন, এখন করে দিন, তারপরে এক্সামটা শুরু করুন।
কেন? আর ইউ
স্যার
প্ল্যানিং
এমনি
টু টেক স্টেপ?
হ্যাঁ স্যার,
নাই।
হ্যাঁ স্যার রিপন ঠিকই বলছে স্যার, এখনই আপনি